There is a prayer in the Torah that, when ignored, keeps people trapped in scarcity, and when done correctly, begins to reverse everything. But there is something about it that touches such a deep spiritual frequency that the wise said, when this prayer comes from a broken and sincere heart, it opens doors in heaven that have been locked for generations. For thousands of years, this prayer was passed down in secret. The rabbis taught it only to those who were ready, to those who had already knocked on every other door, to those who had nothing left to lose except hope. Because this prayer is not for those who want more. It's for those who are in scarcity, in the desert, at rock bottom, and cry out, Eternal One, either you intervene, or I will not survive. And when that prayer is made with sincerity, something happens. It's not as immediate as pressing a button, but it's as real as a seed that finds fertile ground. Doors begin to move. People start acting in your favor without you even asking. Resources are starting to appear from unexpected places. And you feel for the first time in a long time that scarcity is no longer a permanent sentence. Today I'm going to reveal to you what is that exact prayer from the Torah. Because she has this power to reverse scarcity, how to pronounce it in a way that heaven recognizes its sincerity, and what happens in the invisible world when you do it with a true heart. Stay until the end, because at the end, I'm going to teach you the prayer word for word, in Hebrew and in Portuguese, so you can start using it today. And remember, scarcity is not the final destination. It's a test. And this prayer is the key that the ancients used to pass this test and enter into the abundance that the Eternal One has always planned for his children. Be honest with me. What scares you more? Continuing to fight alone against scarcity without hope, or discovering that a spiritual key has always existed, but no one taught you how to use it? If you've made it this far, it wasn't by chance. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because here we don't just offer empty motivation. We reveal ancient wisdom, tested for millennia, that still works today. Join us and journey from scarcity to divine provision. Over 3,000 years ago, a man named Moses faced an impossible crisis. The people of Israel were in the desert. There was no water. There was no food. The shortage was total. And the people murmured, "We're going to die here. There's no way out. There are no provisions." Moses, in despair, no longer knew what to do. He could have panicked. He could have tried to solve everything on his own. But he did something different. He prostrated himself before the Eternal and cried out a simple yet powerful prayer. "I am the Lord, salvation is mine. Ana Adonai, Hoshiana. Please, Eternal One, save me now." It wasn't a sophisticated prayer. It was not a theological speech. It was a cry from a naked soul. And what happened? The Torah says that the Eternal One answered and made water gush from the rock. He made bread fall from the sky. He transformed the desert into a place of miraculous provision. Centuries later, King David, when surrounded by enemies, without resources, betrayed by allies, wrote in the Psalms, "I am the Lord, salvation is mine." The same prayer, and God delivered him. The Kabbalists, in studying this prayer, discovered something extraordinary. This is not just a phrase, it's a spiritual code. Each word carries a frequency. Each syllable opens a specific door in the invisible world. They taught, when a man or woman reaches their breaking point and utters this prayer with genuine tears, something breaks in the sky. The scarcity decree is beginning to be reviewed. And this prayer reached us, not by chance, but because scarcity persists, and the mercy of the Eternal remains available. There are thousands of prayers in the sacred texts, but this one has something unique. It's not a, "I want more" prayer. It's a prayer of, "I have nothing." The difference is essential. When you pray for more, you are still in a negotiating position. You have something to offer. You have some merit to show for it. But when you pray in this way, Ana Adonai, Hoshiana, you are saying, "I have nothing. I cannot save myself. If you do not intervene, I will sink." And it is precisely this total vulnerability that disarms the sky. The wise explain, the Lord resists the proud, but he bows down to the humble. When you pray this prayer, you are not trying to impress God. You are presenting yourself as you truly are, fragile, needy, desperate. And this radical honesty is the key that unlocks the door to mercy. Let's dissect each part of this prayer to understand its power. Ana, please. This word is a humble appeal. It's not a requirement. It's not a charge. It's a plea. In Hebrew, ana has the same root as aniyut, poverty, humility. You are saying, I present myself before you as a poor person. I have nothing with which to repay you. I only ask for mercy. This attitude disarms judgment and activates divine compassion. Ach, Adonai. Eternal. This is the sacred name that represents infinite mercy. You are not crying out to a distant God. You are crying out to the compassionate Father, the provider, the one who always was and always will be. To pronounce that name with reverence is to remember. You are eternal. My crisis is temporary, but your ability to reverse situations is permanent. Hoshiana, save now. This is the most intense part. Hoshia comes from the root Yeshua, salvation, liberation, redemption. Na means now, please. It is a cry for immediate intervention. Are you saying, I can't wait any longer. The situation is critical. I need you to act now. When someone prays this prayer with genuine tears, heaven recognizes that soul is at its limit. And the Torah shows that when someone reaches their limit with sincerity, the Eternal One acts. This is not a prayer to be recited mechanically. It's not an empty mantra. It is done at specific times. When to do it? When scarcity is real and painful. When you've tried everything and nothing has worked. When you feel like you're drowning and need a rescue that can only come from above. When your soul is broken, not by performance, but by truth. How to do it? Find a quiet place, alone. Take a deep breath. Calm your body, but don't suppress your emotions. Acknowledge your situation before God. Say in your own words, Eternal One, I am in need. I need you. Say the prayer, first in Hebrew if possible, then in Portuguese. In Hebrew, I am the Lord, salvation is mine. Ana Adonai, Hoshiana. In Portuguese, please Eternal One, save me now. Don't rush. Let each word come from the heart. If you cry, cry. If you tremble, tremble. Be true to yourself. Then, remain silent for a few minutes, just listening. The wise men said, a prayer that rises with genuine tears never returns empty. The Kabbalists taught that when this prayer is offered with sincerity, three things happen in the spiritual world. Doors of mercy open. According to Kabbalah, there is a portal called Sha'ar Harachamim, the gate of compassion. He is always available, but only responds to genuine requests. When you pray, Ana Adonai Hoshiana, that gate recognizes the frequency of true vulnerability and opens. Decrees are being reviewed. Hebrew tradition teaches that not everything is closed. Some decrees can be changed when there is sincere outcry, repentance, or accumulated merit. This prayer triggers a process of heavenly review. It's as if the Eternal One were saying, this soul has called to me from the depths. I will look again at its situation. Angels of provision are released. In Kabbalistic belief, there are specific angels who carry resources, opportunities, and connections. When you cry out for salvation, these angels are sent. They start moving people, opening doors, creating coincidences. You don't see the process, but you feel the effects. This is not fantasy. It is the spiritual structure that the Hebrew tradition has always taught. It's important to understand. This prayer is not instant magic. She is a key, and a key needs to find the right lock. This means you need to be willing to change internally. You need to fix what is within your power to fix. You need to trust in God's timing, not just your own. Prayer opens the door, but you need to walk through it. The wise men said, God performs miracles, but not for those who want to remain in the mire. If you pray for salvation from scarcity, but continue with patterns of waste, dishonesty, ingratitude, the door may open, but you won't go through. Therefore, say the prayer sincerely, and commit to being a worthy channel for the response. The man who prayed at the bottom of the well. Daniel, 47 years old, bankrupt businessman. He lost everything, his company, his house, his dignity. I was living in a borrowed room, burdened with impossible debts. One night he couldn't take it anymore. He fell to his knees and shouted, God, I have nothing left. If you don't save me, I'm finished here. A friend had taught him the Torah prayer days before. He repeated it crying, Ana Adonai, Hoshiana, please Eternal One, save me now. He did this every night for 2 weeks, without seeing anything change. But in the third week, something strange happened. A former business partner with whom he hadn't spoken in years called out of the blue, "Daniel, I'm working on something new and I thought of you. Do you want to talk?" That turned into a partnership. Gradually, he began to climb out of the hole. It wasn't an instantaneous explosion, but it was a real restoration. Today, Daniel says, that prayer didn't change my situation overnight, but it changed something inside me, and that opened doors that were locked. The woman who was trapped. Christina, 38 years old, single mother, unemployed, with no savings. She had 3 young children and no prospects. She heard about the ancient prayer. He decided to test it. Every morning she would wake up and whisper, "Ana Adonai, Hoshi Ahna, Eternal One, I need a miracle." He did this for 21 days. On the 22nd day, she received a message from an old acquaintance. "I saw a perfect job opening for you. Can I recommend you?" She went, did the interview, and got the job. Good salary, flexible hours, close to home. Christina said, crying, "I know that God heard, because what happened defied human logic. It was a direct answer." She continues to pray, now not out of despair, but out of gratitude. The couple who were losing everything. A young couple, married for 3 years. Business gone bankrupt, bank account emptied, car seized, rent overdue. They were on the verge of divorce because of financial pressure. One day they watched a video about a Torah prayer that reverses scarcity. They decided to do it together. Every night, holding hands, they prayed, "Ana Adonai, Hoshiahna." At first, nothing, but they continued. In the 5th week, the wife received an unexpected job offer, and the husband managed to negotiate a debt settlement that seemed impossible. Gradually, things began to fall into place. It wasn't a Hollywood miracle. It was a step-by-step reconstruction. Today, they teach other couples. When you pray together, to the very end, something powerful happens. Heaven doesn't ignore a broken couple asking for help. What if I pray and nothing happens? First, God does not work on your timeline. Second, sometimes the answer comes in a way you didn't expect. Third, if you prayed sincerely, something has moved. You may not see it yet, but in the unseen world, the answer is already on its way. Keep praying, keep trusting. The seed you planted will sprout. I don't know Hebrew. Does the prayer still work? Try. God understands all languages. What matters is not the language, but the heart. But if possible, try pronouncing it in Hebrew as well, because Hebrew words carry specific spiritual frequencies. However, if you can't, pray in Portuguese with all sincerity. God will not ignore you for it. I've prayed so many times and never received an answer. Perhaps you prayed without true brokenness. Perhaps you asked for things that weren't aligned with your purpose. This prayer is different. It's not about giving orders to God. It's about surrendering to His mercy. Try doing it this time with total vulnerability, without demands, just a sincere cry, and see if something starts to change. Now, the deepest secret of this prayer. The Kabbalists taught that this prayer not only asks for salvation, it also declares trust. When you say Hoshiana, save now, you are implicitly saying, I know that you can. I trust that you will. This confidence is the spiritual fuel that accelerates the response. The level 2 secret is this. Combine prayer with faith visualization. After praying Ana Adonai, Hoshiana, close your eyes and visualize for 2 minutes. You're receiving the provision. You're escaping scarcity. You are being blessed in an unexpected way. It's not an empty law of attraction. It is active faith. The Torah says that Abraham believed against hope. He envisioned the promise before he saw it. When you combine heartfelt prayer and faith-based visualization, you create an extremely powerful spiritual frequency. Try this, and watch how things start to move. Here's a challenge that could transform your financial life. For 30 consecutive days, recite the Torah prayer that reverses scarcity. Daily structure. Choose a fixed time, preferably early in the morning or in the evening before going to sleep. Find a quiet place. Acknowledge your need before God. Be honest. Say the prayer in Hebrew and Portuguese. I am the Lord. Salvation is mine. Ana Adonai, Hoshiana. Please, Eternal One, save me now. Remain silent for 2 minutes after praying. Visualize the provision arriving. 2 minutes. Express your gratitude in advance as if your request has already been granted. Challenge rules. Don't skip a single day. Pray with a sincere heart, not mechanically. Write down in a notebook any sign of change, an opportunity that arises, a person who helps, a problem that is solved. At the end of the 30 days, reread your notes. You'll be amazed at how many responses have started to appear. Now, incline your heart and receive this blessing as a decree upon your life. May the Eternal One who heard the cry of Moses in the desert, of David in persecution, of Esther facing death, also hear your cry. May he recognize the sincerity of your soul. May he see not only what you ask for, but the pain that brought you here. I bless your prayer. May each time you say, Ana Adonai, Hoshiana, that prayer rise like pure incense, traversing the heavens, reaching the throne of mercy. May it not return empty. May she return laden with answers, with provision, with open doors. I bless your scarcity. Let it not be permanent. Let it be just one chapter, not the whole book. May the next chapter be one of abundance, restoration, and witness. I bless your tears. May every tear shed in prayer be counted. May they transform into seeds of miracles. What makes you cry today will make you grateful tomorrow. I bless your days, that you begin to see signs, small at first, but real. A door here, a helping hand there, an idea emerging, a connection happening. May you gradually feel the invisible hand of the Eternal guiding you out of scarcity. And when you leave, don't forget. Tell others about it, that you teach this prayer. May you be a living testament that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob still hears, still acts, still saves. Regarding you, your home, and your income, I declare, may the scarcity be reversed. Let the provision be released. May divine favor reach you. And may it all begin with this prayer. I am the Lord, salvation is mine. Ana Adonai Hoshiana. Please, Eternal One, save me now. Shalom.